World of Warcraft Classic Plus. Classic Plus is the future of WoW. People have been discussing this in other videos, and I share most of their opinions. WoW Classic Plus can finish this period of underwhelming expansions and begin a new era for the game and for MMORPGs in general. The center of discussions have been topics like difficulty of content, new zones, raids, dungeons, the level cap, staying at 60, but there is something people haven't been talking too much about it, and is lore. Let's say Blizzard adds Mount Hyjal and adds a bunch of demonic mobs, maybe a dungeon or even a raid with loot and bosses. And that's it. No new NPCs in the area or quests, no new faction, just a bunch of mobs and loot. Well, it will still feel unfinished. It will still feel like there is something missing. That's where lore comes to play. There should be a questline that sends you to Mount Hyjal with an objective. A questline that will tell a story. Also, I think it's important to discuss the kind of lore that people want for Classic Plus, because otherwise Blizzard will just go with retail like narrative and quest lines. With all of this settled, now I want to talk about a possible Scarlet Crusade raid questline, a story for it, and you all can give me your opinions in the comments. Is it too long? Maybe you don't see the Scarlet Crusade raid in this way, maybe you see a different story being told in it. I just want to begin that debate. Now, why the Scarlet Crusade raid? Well, it's because I think it's probably the best starting point for Classic Plus. Think about it. The story of Classic ends with Naxxramas sieged and Kel'Thuzad being defeated. All of this happening in the Playlands, which is where the Scarlet Crusade has a strong presence. So a Scarlet Crusade raid questline and story could be a very good follow-up after we finish with Naxxramas. And it also could serve to tie a loose end in the story. I will talk about more of this loose end later. Now, a raid needs three basic things. First, a location. Where are we going to? And this location has to have this vibe that, that tells you it's a raid spot. That here, there's something hidden, something sinister. Now, the second thing is the objective. Why are we going to this place? What is the objective that we have to accomplish? And the third thing is the boss. More specifically, the last boss. It's very important to have a good final boss for a raid. Very clear examples of this. Icecrown Citadel has the Lich King. In Black Temple, we have Illidan, Sandwell, Kil'jaeden. In Naxxramas, Kel'Thuzad. And even in Molten Core, Ragnaros, the Fire Elemental. So, it's very important to get a good final boss. First, the location. Well, I think many of you already know the answer. Is Tir'shan. I think it's a very good place. When you visit it in game, you ask questions, like, why is this place here? What is hidden here? Why is there so many elites guarding this place? And it has these tall buildings, like the cathedral, that could be the entrance for the raid. Also, we know from Wrath of the Lich King events that there is an actual enclave, the Scarlet Enclave, behind it. So this raid could serve as a way to introduce that part of the map in Classic Plus. Now, the final boss. We already defeated the leader of the Scarlet Crusade, Seidan Dathrogan, who was possessed by Balanzar in Stratholme Live, along with a bunch of high-ranking officers of the Scarlet Crusade. So, who's left to lead the Scarlet Crusade? Well, there's an NPC that we can find in-game who is actually in Tir'shan, and it's High General Brigitte Abendis. And she's a pretty good candidate to be the final boss of a Scarlet Crusade raid. But think about it. If she's the final boss of the Scarlet Crusade raid, then what is our objective? Pretty much be something simple as The Scarlet Crusade is going crazier than ever before, so we just have to deal with them and pretty much kill everybody in Tur's hand, and that's it. Well, in my opinion, I think that sounds very mediocre. Too simple. Not a very good story to tell. Here's where that loose end that I was talking about comes. In my opinion, the final boss of the Scarlet Crusade raid should be Father Inigo Montoy, the priest who we give the phylactery of Kel'Thuzad to. He is the reason why Kel'Thuzad comes back in Wrath of the Lich King. He is the reason why we have to do Naxxramas again for an entire phase. Now in Classic we pretty much don't know anything about this guy except that he's from the Brotherhood of the Light, a faction that is allied with the Argent Dawn and the Scarlet Crusade to defeat the Scourge in the Plaguelands. Now, how do we create this link between Father Inigo Montoy and the Scarlet Crusade? How do we put Inigo Montoy in Tyr's hand? Think about it, the Scarlet Crusade is in a leadership crisis. They need all the help that they can get. They probably have internal turmoils, and the Argent Dawn and the Brotherhood of the Light, because they are allied with the Scarlet Crusade to fight the Scourge and the Plaguelands, it's probably in their best interests that the Scarlet Crusade doesn't fall into chaos. So we can assume that Father Inigo Montoy offers his help to the Scarlet Crusade to deal with their internal turmoils. And why will Father Inigo Montoy go into Tyr's hand? Well, it's pretty simple. Think about it. He wants to give the phylactery of Kel'Thuzad to the Lich King. The Lich King is in Northrend. How do you get to Northrend? Well, you need a ship. And where is the closest port or harbor or coastline with working ships in the Plaguelands? Well, from Wrath of the Lich King, we know that the Scarlet Crusade has been working on building ships, so we can assume that Father Inigo Montoy's best route to get to Northrend is through Tyr's hand, then going into the Scarlet Enclave. I mean, the Scarlet Crusade didn't notice that their leader was possessed by a Dreadlord, so they won't notice some devout priest of the light carrying the phylactery of a lich going to Northrend. And this also gives us our objective: get the phylactery of Kel'Thuzad. And then you go into the raid, you find a lot of bosses. In my opinion, they should be very similar to what we find in Stratcom Live and the Scarlet Monastery. Just, more mechanics, but not make it too complicated. Maybe you, for example, have someone like Herod, but instead of spinning in place, he goes around and does something more like a Blade Storm, so very much a moving Beyblade. Now, for the final boss, how should the encounter with Father Inigo Montoy unfold? Well, before fighting Inigo Montoy, we should fight the High General Bridget Abendis. She tells us that she's not gonna let us kidnap Father Inigo Montoy, and she is buying some time for Inigo to escape. I don't think we should kill the High General, pretty much just bring her HP to 1 and still get loot. Just so, there's still some leadership for the Scarlet Crusade faction. And then at the very end, we confront Father Inigo Montoy. We ask for the phylactery, and then he refused to give it to us, so we just fight. He could have 2 phases. The first phase, pretty much just priest skills, holy fire, smites, maybe consecrations, holy damage in general. And then for the second phase, he unveils his true identity, a member of the cult of the damned, which is pretty much not seen in Classic, so this could be a pretty good moment to introduce the cult of the damned in-game. So we fight with Inigo, and he pretty much changes to Necromancer and Shadow skills. At the end, Father Inigo falls. We search for the phylactery, but he doesn't have it anymore. He tells us that it's already on its way to Northrend, and that all that we have done in Tyr's hand and in the Plaguelands and also in Naxxramas doesn't matter, that we cannot escape our fate. Having a similar moment to the one Arthas had with Kel'Thuzad in Warcraft 3. And this is it. This is what I would like a Scarlet Crusade raid to be about. Let me know in the comments what story you would like to see in a Scarlet Crusade raid. I have seen people talking about something related to the Ashbringer, but I think there's also other possibilities. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, that helps a lot. See you all in the next video. Later.